walk it right up to it, nice and steady, and it'll, as soon as that circle comes back onto that dot, boom, it'll loop it around. Now you can zoom in.
This is Matt and Daniel with Gun Addicts, and we're here with Anson Gore from Tracking Point. Hey, thanks for talking with us. And we're here at the Texas International Firearms Festival today, and Tracking Point is the, well, I guess are you guys sponsoring?
We're the platinum sponsor out here.
Platinum sponsor of the event. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we got in front of us? It looks like we've got an awesome rifle with the Tracking Point optic on it. So why don't you give us a rundown on it?
Absolutely, yeah. This is one of our Gen 2 models that we have here for Tracking Point. It's a precision guided firearm. We've got, this is our Twin Mag AR. We've got a ballistic calculator. It's got a trigger link that actually goes to a guided trigger. The ballistic calculator itself takes in all the variables that come into long distance shooting that really take years of training to develop. Sure. It factors in Coriolis effects, the curvature of the earth at 1,000 yards, spin drift, barometric pressure, temperature, elevation, cant, incline, all those things. The only thing that you have to manually do as a shooter is put in a windfall. So once you determine, say you have a 4 mile an hour right to left, you would just, with the toggle switch here, input that and then it would calculate that.
So to call this a scope, from everything you've said, is kind of a misnomer. This is a ballistics calculator,
correct,
a rangefinder. It's all in one package.
Yeah, it's a complete system. If you think about jet fighter lock and launch technology, where really it was Abrams tank technology initially. So you've got a heads-up display screen that you look in here, and so it's a digital image that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So once you identify your target, the point of impact you want, you hit this red tag button here. It places a tag on that target, even moving up to 20 miles an hour. Squeeze the trigger, hold it, come back on it. It sends it once that ballistic solution is met.
Wow. So now I'm looking at the rifle, look at the buttstock. Buttstock looks like an awesome buttstock, just a general rifle, AR-15 buttstock. Good cheek weld, good, adjustable for the most part. But there's more going on inside that. So why don't you tell us what's the deal with this buttstock?
Yeah, absolutely. So from last year to this year, we went from a Gen 1 optic on top to a Gen 2. The battery source was actually in the scope last year, so we've condensed it down, taken some weight up front, out, redistributed it into the buttstock here. So we modified this. Not only does it make it lighter up here, but it also adds weight into your shoulder, so it gives you a real balanced feel.
Sure.
So yeah, it's got about 4 hours roughly power when it's, or lifespan when it's powered on.
Okay, and there's lithium batteries,
yes,
I'm assuming?
Yes. Rechargeable. Yeah, it comes with the charger.
Oh, and do the battery packs come out, or do you have to
charge it? So basically the way it works is you squeeze here, there's 2 caps on the end here, slide the batteries out, it's got a magnetic spring in there so it slides out, goes back up, and that's it.
Cool, that's awesome.
So what kind of accuracy are you getting with this platform right here?
Yeah, so this platform right here, we're shooting at about a minute out to 1,200 yards.
Wow.
So,
and that's every pull of the trigger?
Every pull of the trigger.
That's a great thing about Tracking Point.
Absolutely. It's also got a traditional mode that you can cycle between. So inside of 50 yards or any kind of close quarter stuff, you just want to shoot, traditionally. It's got a mil-doctrine reticle 0 to 100. So you can cycle through those. So you can get your tag mode, which we call advanced mode, or you can go traditional and shoot like you normally would.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now you guys are located here in Austin, Texas, and I'm a resident of Austin, obviously in booming tech industry here. Probably one of the biggest in the country. How did Tracking Point get its start? And did it always start here in Texas?
It did. We started about 3.5 years ago. Our founder was actually on a hunt in Africa, and the last day he was out there, he missed a shot on an animal at about 400 yards, and on the way back, it was just bothering him.
Yeah.
We thought there's got to be some sort of button I can push, and so he came back and they hired a team of about 70 engineers, sunk a lot of money into R&D, and developed this amazing product.
Wow.
And also, I didn't talk about it, there's also a Wi-Fi server in there that streams live video.
Yeah.
So there's an app that you can download to any smart device that would allow you as a spotter to sit there real time and look at what the shooter's looking at. We also just announced a shot glass app where you can stream to wearable technology, any Android device. And we actually partnered with Recon, and we're offering now in actual glasses, you can see the heads-up display screen. And so that would allow you to shoot around corners, over berms from a protected area. It also would allow like 2 shooters to be connected to each other's guns, so you can communicate that way.
So obviously there's a lot of technology to go in this, and for anyone that didn't see the video, Tracking Point's got a number of videos on YouTube. Definitely check them out. They've got a couple of them where they've got a shooter with what looks like ski goggles with a heads-up display and it's shooting completely blind at a target a couple 100 yards out.
500 yards.
500 yards out and hitting that target. And I think it was bigger than a coffee can, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing. So obviously, for those of us that grew up in the military and those of us that grew up in the 90s with terrible sci-fi movies and your RoboCops and stuff like that, they remember the HK platform for the future soldier, and it had less than this capability, but it was about this size. So the way technology is moving is just awesome. Now, the capabilities that you're talking about with wireless streaming of the video, you know, to the tablet or glasses or whatnot, that alone, the technology alone, and then there's also laser rangefinder.
Laser rangefinder, right.
That technology alone in a scope is pretty awesome. Does Tracking Point have any future plans of just releasing a scope?
Right. That's not on our roadmap right now. You know, because of, you know, we were talking earlier. All of the technology really is between here and the trigger, and that's what allows you to lock and launch and give you that extreme accuracy. And really, the trigger itself is actually controlled by the scope. So it's really just a complete system. So that's not really in our roadmap.
Yeah, I got you.
One of the other things I failed to mention is when you hit that tag button, it starts recording audio and video. So then you can actually go to a different app and download those shots, email them to friends and family, post them on social media. You know, for law enforcement purposes, there's a lot of, you know, liability advantages to that in a court of law if there's any kind of, you know, law enforcement shooting. So yeah, a lot of technology going on.
Now, when you hit that trigger, that record button, it's already streaming the.
When you're streaming video through a Wi-Fi server, but then when you hit this tag button to place your tag, it starts recording, and then it records, I think, up to 30 seconds after your shot.
Understood.
So you've tagged it, it's recording.
Yeah.
You get back on there, you shoot, it's still recording, and then it shoots off.
Well, that's a great capability. Now,
how many models do y'all have right now?
7 currently.
7? And what are the calibers? Where they range from?
We offer it in a 5.56 in the semi-automatic platform, 7.62, the 300 Win Mag AR. Then we have 2, what we call the 750 series. We have a 308. This is a bolt action rifle and a 300 Win Mag. And then we offer our 330 pillows, both in a tactical and then standard hunting stock. Those will tag targets out to 1200.
what is the price? What are we looking at as far as price for this entire platform? Because this isn't just to be clear, this isn't just a scope. This isn't just a rifle. I know we had called this a Nemo. This is based on a Nemo semi-auto platform.
Right.
And for those that don't know, that's what's special about this rifle?
Yeah, so you know, again, it's because it's a fully integrated system. By the time we get our hands on it and it leaves our facility, it's a Tracking Point precision guided firearm.
It's no longer a Nemo.
No, it is a Tracking Point precision guided firearm. The prices range between $7,500 all the way up to $27,500. And this particular one we're looking at right here is 19.
Okay, great. And the accuracy, again, for the rest of the platforms, are they all looking around sub-MOA?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anywhere from 500 yards out to, you know, the 5.56 will reach out to 500 yards, and then the 338 will cruise out to 1,200, and then it all ranges in between, depending on the caliber.
Well, thanks for talking with us. I appreciate your time, and
absolutely.
Look forward to seeing more of these on the market.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.